Number 3, eat well, sleep well, work hard, play hard, study hard. Number 4, the only way to learn things is to repeat them.
That's good.
Number 5, who, what, when, where, and why.
Yeah, exactly.
Learning from the wise man.
I'm from Nunavut, Iqaluit, the city. I'm 53 years old. Been here in Montreal for about over 10 years now. When I first came down here, I had a culture shock. Back home where I come from, everything is very slow, like everybody knows everyone. I've been getting accustomed to this because of Comm-Un. It's like they've taught me so much. It's so fun. I like
I have one. Look at that.
Yeah.
I have 2.
How long have you been carving for?
All my adult life.
I have a suggestion.
Since I was a kid, actually.
Yeah?
Those 2 are yours, right?
I've been able to express myself through my art. I've been able to do some activities because of commerce. We do a lot of stuff here, all kinds of stuff. It's so fun. Yeah. You never know what we're gonna do.
Union thing and one of the September 18th. Silas life lesson. Yeah, what is Comm-Un? It changes every day. Comm-Un is a space. It's a way to be. I think it's kind of a counterbalance to what we're living in, the performance capitalism. Because at first, for sure, it was built based on what I've learned on the street with street people, what they call homelessness. But the more I digged, and it became more like a social justice thing. And then I understood that all our society was creating what we actually call homelessness. Because everybody at one point is vulnerable and we don't accept that. So I think Comm-Un is all about, can we just talk about all these things together and try to understand them, and then we can act on them together.
Do you think right now would be a good time for you to show us around on video, so where you're like, this is this space, this does X, Y, Z? Or is that...
Do we have that? Do we have what? Like a concrete structured space where I can define... Say there's a library that we use for the workspace, like we could talk about, and there's the office that serves as whatever it needs, like it's an office, it's a meeting space. It's often way too crowded.
Yeah.
And that's cool. So somebody was wearing that yesterday as boots.
Those are awesome.
And then, but no, because that's just the lining from a boot. So he was just walking with this all day, and then his foot was super wet, and then actually he's like, oh fuck it, and then left it there.
That's high fashion.
That's. So how can somebody trust me and tell me his life story? If I have a white office, neon, a desk between me and him, but sitting down with someone 8 hours, having your lunch with someone, playing cards, and then I started to really have the information, the story about the person, to get a real trust. See, most of our services are, you're trained to be objective, you're trained to put your limits, you're trained to, and I guess as a journalist, you really should know that. Which is the worst thing you can do, because if you don't build a relationship, if you don't give a bit about yourself, you're not going to receive. Our office were on the ground floor, so then we started to have people coming and see us, and then slowly it's kind of a cultural day center. We have people dropping in and stuff. It wasn't meant to be this open door, people of the street coming and everything, and it comes with a lot of pressure. And we weren't supposed to do this. We got rules, you should follow the rules, and that's how society goes. But to work with vulnerable people, you need, I believe, to bend a little those rules first if you want to catch the attention, catch the interest. See? I want to try with Comm-Un the formula that inclusivity should be started from the most vulnerable person and then build your idea around this and see what they can bring to that space and then build the rest around it.
My first encounter with Comm-Un was meeting Jonathan.
Ah, ça fait longtemps que j'ai cherché. This is the first time I have a picture of Mo, let's say. Because before it was just the person. And now he became Comm-Un. He became Comm-Un.
Thomas from Collective Value called me, invited me to do co-writing for the grants writing. It was a great experience with Jonathan, and I noticed that the way Jonathan and I are thinking are so close to each other, and the way he's defining homelessness and approaching homelessness is so unique. It's strengths-based. He had a robust connection with the people on the street. They didn't accept our proposal, but the main outcome was that Jonathan and I met each other and built friendship and connection. I think it's a healing space. For me, it's one of the main spaces in Montreal that I feel at home. Once I asked Jonathan that I noticed that here lots of things happen spontaneously, and he said that that's magic. And I asked him, what is your strategy for making the magic happen? And he said that you should make an empty space. It has no name, it has no rule, it has no identity. Sometimes I also come here and do stone carving. My problem is that I just finish the stone and you just see the dust. But I'm learning from community how to make better artworks. One of the definitions of art is that making the invisible visible. Art is about our dreams, desires, hopes, intentions. These are the main drivers that help us to do something or make decisions or exert power.
Homelessness is like an equation of trauma, so then what can you do about this? See? So what we do in our system, we offer therapy 6 months at it, not working. So through, especially Indigenous learning, we found out that we need healing. You need to make sure that at one point it stops bleeding, it stops getting infected. But to heal, what do we do? And maybe I'm stretching, but see, there's lately this dude I love so much, Sammy, who I started to push in the ass, like, come and draw and I'll pay you to do it. He would come to get the money. And then he would come because he likes to be here. And then at one point I saw the difference. He spent 2 hours, he made like the nicest drawing in the world. And then he came to me and he says, thank you. And I'm like, why would you thank me? Like, see? He's like, because now I understand why you were pushing me like this. And thanks for doing that. Because for the first time in a long time, for that 2 hour, I was feeling good. See? And today, as we talk, he's in therapy and I'm so proud of him. See? So that's what art does. If you create, you're going to exorcise something, which is, I guess, the infection. Creating doesn't help to survive, so you don't do that. So I think art makes it easier to just be together and share something that can become words after, that can become stories after. Yo, Kara, hello! Nice to see you! So we're here at the Terrasse Roi at the Centre Paul Roulant for the event Winter Stories. So the Centre Paul who called us and said, hey, would you like to animate something like this outside? So I'm like, for sure. And the point I think we're trying to bring is that we want to address homelessness differently. We want to try to build a community, but not on those kind of differences. See? So today is all about meeting and having like a community vibe where we can just comfortably chat with each other. That's why we brought some art pieces too, because it's easier to chat around a piece of art and then tell that story.
Like the turtle from prehistoric ages. But I haven't finished yet.
Well, that's how you work with inclusivity, I believe. It's because it creates discomfort. So if you can just get over that discomfort, then everybody could be together. That's not a problem. So for the first time we were asked, given the resource, given the tools, bonfire, bannock bread, there was tea, there was like artists drawing, stone carving, and telling their stories, like stories of up north and everything. It was so amazing to see how the people, like they mobilized, they did it. My friend Simeone carving ice for the first time, like in front of everyone. There was the most beautiful evening so far in Comm-Un, I think, because of all of this, because for once I wasn't protecting no one inside a shady place. We're outside, like in front of everyone, but we were welcoming people, and that's something that we developed the power to give. I think it's a major problem in all our society that we don't understand differences, we don't make the right categories sometimes, and when to be different and when to be the same. I think we're kind of still confused.
Most of the people have a kind of perspective to homelessness that they want to solve the problem, and it's a kind of a way that we know the solution and we give you the prescription. And it's not a kind of human connection. It's not in a way that you understand that person. We are social animals and we are connected. But the way our political economic system is working is so fragmented. And Comm-Un is moving from fragmentation to integration and finding the roots to connect each other.
Comm-Un has very quickly become really special to me. I was street involved like as a younger person. I'm in technically like the 10th year of my bachelor's degree. Yeah, I was kind of like losing faith in what I was doing until I started this field placement, and now honestly Comm-Un is like family, it's friends, it's solidarity. It's been just as helpful. I think it's probably been more helpful for me than I have been to the other community members. Right now, I am looking for our brochure so I can print some more because the last ones I printed I misplaced. We're gonna go to an art market today, so it's nice to have some materials that explain who we are and what we do.
Street in a way, but I don't want to say street. I don't want to isolate the artist and being street people.
Yeah.
Like Indigenous artist is real, it's true, but I think if you add the community care or solidarity shit or
Solidarity art sale, handcrafted.
come and save your soul, motherfucker.
Jonathan's so helpful. So helpful.
It was one joke and 4 good things. That was a good ratio.
I'm looking forward for this afternoon so we can do some art and sell some art, change the scenery, get some exposure.
Comm-Un was always the voice of the street. Comm-Un was always me trying to, in empathy, and put myself aside for a minute, understand what the person was living. So Comm-Un is this accumulation of stories that I've keep listening and hearing that would make sense and build something. So I was never Comm-Un. I think when we say this, it's just, I'm the one who at one point said it's enough. It's enough self-care, it's enough self-protection, it's enough thinking about my own REER or whatever, and I will be the one who puts everything he can on it. So I'm not Comm-Un, I'm just the face of Comm-Un, I guess. I'm the animateur, I'm the one you see on TV, but I'm the one probably doing the lesson on that thing. And people like collaborators like Mo and Sonia from Architectes Sans Frontières, they changed everything. But my street people who was there, we were there together for 15 years, they're the one who built it, all of that shit. Maybe the last thing I gotta say, if I can do this, if I can still wake up in every morning and do what I do, even though what it costed me, it's because it's beautiful. See, so it's raw, it's pure, and it is uncomfortable from the outside, but everybody's not feeling super good. So take a minute and understand that if I'm doing this and having fun, maybe it could bring fun to everyone. And forget about your own little issues and challenges all the time.
Around me, nothing.
Yeah.